Let's go, Luigi.
Let's
Are you
go.
ready?
We have warmed up inside the bullshit, George. We have
Sufficiently.
become the bullshit.
You merely adopted the bullshit. I was born in... I am the knight. I never took a vaccine. Alfred tried, but I said, no, fuck your Master Bruce. I'm not taking this shit. But Master Bruce, the FDA has recommended it. Fuck the FDA, Alfred.
Wow.
I'm Batman. This is because Luigi
Let's go.
Luigi keeps saying that my RFK voice sounds like the Batman voice, which it does, obviously. Sorry, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Welcome, everyone. This was a cold intro. I hope you enjoyed it. Hi, Luigi.
Hi, George. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine considering what has happened in the affairs of the world, Luigi. How about you?
The affairs of the world look darker by the day at this point.
Of course. As we've discussed last episode, everybody. It's getting darker. Yeah, let's not do the bullshit again, though. Let's move forward. Let's look ahead. As fucking Young says, Luigi, Young call out forward, not left, no whatever. We're gonna look forward.
Wow, that sounds like a McKinsey advertising slogan.
That's where he gets his advice, 100%.
I'm sure.
So if anybody's feeling blue, maybe I'm feeling relatively blue, or as Luigi says, orange. If anybody's feeling orange, because orange
is the new blue.
Orange is the new blue. Follow along with us, where we will proceed to criticize the fuck out of Donny Boy's nomination picks for his cabinet. That's what we're doing, right? That's what we're doing.
That is exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
So the latest news we got have been that Robert Kennedy. Before Luigi, quickly before we get on the nominations. I just want to say, just funny little anecdote. Apparently, Trump has been making jokes about Musk overstaying his welcome. Apparently, Musk is camped out in Mar-a-Lago and hasn't left ever since Trump won the election. And Trump has been making little comments to the degree that Musk went to his meeting with Republicans yesterday before he met Biden, Luigi. Why the fuck did Musk go? Nobody knows. But because Elon bought this election.
That's certainly what Elon thinks. I don't know what Trump thinks about it. We'll find out soon. But he started making these little jokes, Luigi. I can't get him out of here. He loves this place, and I like having him here. That's the current emotional status vis-a-vis Trump and Elon. But we'll see how it pans out, Luigi, right? Maybe, can two narcissists of such great volume coexist with each other that closely?
Not for long periods of time.
Maybe that's the advice, Elon. Take it. Maybe take some breaks from the relationship. Go back to your lair for a bit. To Mount Doom in Texas or whatever.
Mount Gigafactory.
Yeah.
Become the Techno King once again. That was his title, I think, at some point in...
Was it? I think
Twitter.
I think he's gone Dark Maga now. That's his title now.
Dark Maga. Dark Maga, wow.
He's the Dark Maga enforcer, Luigi. But we'll get to Elon. Let's finish up with the quick news. Republicans have secured the House majority, and they've already had the Senate. So as you said, it's a trifecta that Trump's got, or as you said last time, it's a quartifecta because he's got the fucking Supreme Court in the bag as well, right?
Bingo, baby. Yeah, we're doing whatever the fuck we want at this point. The people have given him a carte blanche.
Yes.
And yeah, we're gonna enact the MAGA agenda, George.
And before we get to the nominations, we've got the Senate Republicans electing John Thune as the next majority leader. Now, that's the mainstream pick, I would say, because he was in line after McConnell. And I would have thought that Trump would have preferred someone else. It seems Thune managed to get through. I think they wanted Rick Scott. Thune is better than Rick Scott, whatever. That doesn't mean anything, though, because is he better? I mean, I'm willing to pause it because we'll get through some of the picks that Trump has made, especially the heads of departments, have to get through nominations in the Senate. I don't think that there's an actual difference between John Thune being the leader of the Senate and whoever the MAGA faithful wanted, I think Rick Scott. I think John Thune will approve all the nominations that Trump has made, but we'll get through it. I don't think. I think, as you said, he's got the quartifecta. It's happening, folks. He's doing it. The nominations are gonna get through. I believe, if not all of them bar one or something of his picks. You
And
agree,
look,
Luigi? Before we've even gotten through them.
speaking of the nominations, I think that the world breathed a collective sigh of relief when he chose Marco Rubio to be Secretary of State, saying something like, he's at least a half-sensible person.
Up to now, he has been the most sensible pick, I think, the most mainstream pick, Marco Rubio, Little Rubio, as Secretary of State with the Foreign Minister, very high position. He's given it to Rubio. But I would still say, Luigi, that's just a mark of how low the standards have fallen at this point. That a guy like Rubio, who is completely salivating at the mouth at warmongering everywhere in Latin America, warmongering with Iran, warmongering with China, a complete war hawk, is considered a sensible choice. And he is, compared with the other nominations. Because at least Rubio is a senator, he's respected, he's on the fucking intelligence committee, the Senate Intelligence Committee.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff that give him credentials. He's better than fucking Ted Cruz. Fuck you, Teddy. Haha. All that ass leaking, and we still haven't got a fucking position, Teddy.
But seriously,
yeah, you're right. He's definitely one of the most sensible, or if not the most sensible nomination that Trump has made so far.
Yeah, everything is relative. I mean, he's not really a sensible candidate until you put him next to actual loonies.
Actual loonies, and the guy, I think, part of the neocons, right?
For sure.
But one of the more reasonable I mean, easy, whatever, part of the neocons.
He tries to paint a picture of a statesman, at least.
Yes. I would go with that. Better than fucking Lindsey Graham, I would say.
Oof, miles. I mean, at least let's give Marco his shot. He can be worse than Lindsey Graham.
Yeah. So we've got the neocon. Trump picked him. Secretary of State, which is the foreign department, so he went for the neocons in foreign affairs.
He put an extremely hawkish person in charge of foreign policy.
Most notably, Luigi, China, we would say, right?
China. We're gonna tariff them, George. It's gonna be beautiful, tremendous.
It's looking that way, yeah. Do you want to go to the funnier nominations then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I think we started with Robert. We've already, the vaccine guy, notable stories, anti-vaccine guy, conspiracy theorist.
My favorite Batman.
He's had worms in his brains. He did something with a bear at one point in Central Park. He's a pretty, let's call him a pretty quixotic character, Luigi. I've got something interesting about him, Luigi. Where is it? That he's responsible. A 2019 study found that Kennedy's organization was one of the top 2 funders of anti-vaccine ads on Facebook. In 2021, the Center for Countering Digital Hate named him as one of the top 12 spreaders of online misinformation about the vaccine. I mean, one of the top 2 funders of anti-vaccine ads on Facebook. That's a pretty high order. He's cleared it, folks. RFK Jr. picked as, Secretary of Health, and an excellent pick. I think far more sensible than Marco Rubio, Little Rubio, I would say. We're not going to have any vaccines until the trial tested for 8,000 years. So no vaccines, folks. We're not getting vaccines.
No more vaccines. Your grandchildren might get that vaccine.
Yeah. We're gonna investigate the glioblastomas that are sprouting up our asses, folks.
Unleash the chimeras.
Unleash the Judeo-Chinese chimeras, Luigi, that are immune to them. They're immune. I've been trying to figure out. I'm RFK Jr. I've got a throat problem. I've got a throat problem. Worms ate half my throat after they migrated from my brain. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's RFK Jr., folks. Legend. The man, the legend. He's JFK's nephew. That JFK.
That doesn't mean anything, really.
Anything. Yeah. He's insane and he's got loads of money. Secretary of Human Services.
He has a very recognizable last name, and Trump owes him a favor at this point because he endorsed him, and his support might have been material, actually.
Yeah.
This is a favor being repaid, like classic Trump style.
Quid pro quo. Who's quo? I'm just pro quo, people. Should we move on? Matt Gaetz, the great Gaetz attorney. That's one of the most spicy picks I've seen by now. Definitely, I think the most spicy one, to be honest. Matt Gaetz, I mean, the guy, the consummate degenerate, I would call him. The degenerates degenerate, Luigi. I mean, there's been allegations that he was involved with having sexual relations with underage girls. I think the Justice Department decided not to charge him as part of a sex trafficking investigation that involved allegations he had sex with a 17-year-old girl. But there was a parallel investigation in the House Ethics Committee over allegations that he engaged in sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, accepted improper gifts, dispensed special privileges and favors to individuals with whom he had a personal relationship, and sought to obstruct government investigations of his conduct. That investigation ended the moment he quit his position in Congress and accepted Trump's nomination for Attorney General. And apart from that, Luigi, if you got the consummate degenerate story, Luigi, just a second, you're going to love this. As a Florida lawmaker before he was in Congress, he opposed a revenge porn law, reportedly telling the bill's sponsor that ex-lovers could do what they pleased with images their partners had shared with them.
Legend.
Which immediately tells you, Luigi, that he's done it. 100%. He's done it. He's trying to save his ass.
he looks like a guy that has done revenge porn.
100%. What do you think, Luigi?
It's called immunity, what Trump has given him.
Look, yeah.
I mean, Matt Gaetz is as out there and as right as you're going to find in the Republican
He's also a dipshit. That's he's also a massive fucking dipshit, people. I mean, one of the biggest in Congress. He dwarfs, I think Ted Cruz looks like a fucking dove next to fucking Matt Gaetz, which is, if you know anything, I mean, it's quite a statement, Luigi.
That is a statement.
It's true. I mean, this guy is something else. Hard-right congressman, Florida man, built for the battle.
Florida man.
Oh,
enters.
we're gonna have fun. Florida man enters battlefield.
And
Florida man likes them young. Oh.
Florida man likes revenge porn.
Florida man sees nothing wrong with it.
So, let's be clear here on who Trump, on what position Trump has given him.
A supreme loyalist, the Attorney General, the supreme police enforcer of the land, right?
The supreme lawyer, essentially. If anyone would actually ever go after Trump for anything, like it would have to start from him, and he's the biggest loyalist, right?
The biggest loyalist, Luigi. He's been, I mean, holding tight to Trump's testicles ever since he descended that golden escalator, vis-a-vis the degree of closeness he's had with the MAGA movement, Luigi. He's been holding on as tight as possible, which usually these people are the biggest degenerates. I mean, the Titan, Marjorie Titan Green, this guy, these are the biggest loyalists of the MAGA movement. So yeah, he's picked this guy. As Luigi said, he picked him to be the country's chief law enforcement officer, oversee the legal positions that the government takes on key issues, including abortion, civil rights law, First Amendment issues. He's going to be shit in all of them. The president-elect...
100%.
The president-elect has pledged
to use the Justice Department to prosecute his political. Oh, yeah, those are Trump pledges. That's what Gates has said. There is little doubt, of course, that Gates will help him fulfill that pledge. He can investigate whoever they want as the Justice Department, as the Attorney General, right? He can direct the Justice Department.
Yeah. He's gonna be Trump's attack dog.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be there to sort of
And
keep Trump in order, in a sense, legally speaking.
But no way. We're going completely the other way, folks.
We're going full MAGA.
Unleash the dark hounds. The MAGA hounds.
Bring the dark chimeras. My friend Robert loves them.
Bring out Florida Man. He's built for battle.
But yeah, he's gonna be the attack dog, as you said, in the position of Attorney General, which is exactly the wrong position to place him in. I mean, the guy should have been a check on Trump, whatever, you're right. A complete super loyalist. Yeah, he's responsible for ousting Kevin McCarthy. Who gives a shit? Let's move on, Luigi.
Tulsi
Gabbard, quite a
Democrat, third Republican Gabbard.
I would say the consummate chameleon, right? I mean, some positions she's held on to, notably her sentiment against, I would say, Arabs in general. But everything else, I would say she's vaccinated.
So for the viewers as well, Tulsi Gabbard ran in 2020. She made a name for herself as being like the anti-war candidate. She went to Syria to meet with Assad at some point, and of course, like everyone in US politics crucified her for that. In recent years,
they considered her. Yeah, they basically considered her a traitor.
Yeah, especially so
who advocates for Bashar al-Assad.
La Salad.
For Bashar La Caesar salad, Luigi. What the fuck is wrong with her? She went to speak with La Salad.
I mean, she clearly likes her salads. So Tulsi also endorsed Trump.
She's had quite a journey, Luigi. Is that what you were saying? She was with Bernie in 2016, I think, and then 2020 she ran on her own. So
she was also a relatively high rank official in the Democratic Party, if I am not mistaken.
Yeah. Her prospects were looking good at the start, at that point in her career. Then she pushed her bets with Bernie. Then she turned. I remember 2020. She endorsed Biden when she pulled out instead of Bernie. So fuck me, she went mainstream then. And then she went Republican, and now she's completely pro-Trump. Is that the trajectory? You say, anti-war. That's a lot of her shtick used to be. But she's been hanging out with a lot of neocons lately, right? I mean, so an interesting position because she's been placed the director or the National Intelligence Director, which is a position that has been formed after 9/11 in response to the 9/11 attacks. And I think it takes part in the presidential briefings, and it coordinates all the intelligence
community.
All the agencies together when giving the brief to the president and that sort of thing. But I still think that, I mean, it's obviously, as insiders say, far less important than if he had given her the CIA director's role. It's still an important position, I'm not gonna lie, because she does have the president's ear. But, if Trump had put your CIA director, I'd be like, fuck me, he means business. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, the CIA director is probably...
That would have been the move, people, if you were looking for the move. But yeah, he was. Obviously, he's chicken shit. He's not going to do it. Don't have the balls, Tony. But yeah, a very unorthodox pick. Should we call her an unorthodox candidate, Luigi?
I'll accept that one.
Which is going to be interesting, the way it's going to clash with Rubio as the foreign secretary. She's going to be giving advice to Trump and collating all the intelligence agencies' reports. So she can give a certain direction to Trump. That is definitely not going to be, I think, the direction that Rubio will take matters in. I don't know. We'll see.
This is the beauty of MAGA, George. Many points of view.
From many, one.
From many,
Me. From many me, it's always me. So yeah, let's move on from Tulsi Gabbard and Rubio. The great Huckabee, ultra evangelical, a legend, ambassador to Israel. He refuses to call the West Bank the West Bank. Instead, calls it Judea and Samaria. Huckabee has a track record of hardline, occasionally far more than provocative pro-Israel rhetoric. Previously said Israel has a rightful claim to the West Bank, which he refers to by its Hebrew and biblical name of Judea and Samaria. So, I mean, the level here is at the level of the far right in Israel. It's basically Ben Gvir level. That's the ambassador to Israel.
I mean, like we've said in the past, though, like this is a very inconsequential appointment. I mean, the ambassador to Israel doesn't really have any power to speak of.
Yeah, but I mean, certainly less power than the secretary. But it's still interesting to know that we even regressed on that, and Biden was pretty shit at that. So, yeah, and then we've got Pete Hegseth, Luigi, Secretary of Defense. That's the Fox News coalition, part of the coalition. In fact, I mean, a Fox News host, basically.
Fox News enters government.
With Mr. Hegseth. Haven't got a lot on Hegseth. I mean, he hates the woke government, whatever the fuck. He hates the woke military or whatever. I mean, he's a Fox News guy. I mean, obviously, this was another, let's say, alarming nomination. People didn't exactly, I mean, were expecting it.
Basically, because the guy has no relevant experience to speak of. That's the biggest problem.
Zero experience. Apparently, he's stridently opposed to woke programs that promote equity and inclusion. He has also questioned the role of women in combat. Wow, fun times, people. There's gonna be fun times. So completely inexperienced. A lot of people were taken aback. And then we have Tom Homan. He's almost a human. He's a Homan. He's gonna be the border czar. What have we got on him? He had a quote where they asked him about the family separation policy, where like, you're going to deport people who have been here for 20 years illegally. You're going to deport them. What about their children? Aren't you having got any qualms about separating them? And he was like, we can deport them together. So that's the level we're going with.
Also, important piece of information, this dipshit is a Project 2025 co-author.
He wrote the damn book, people.
Project 2025 is basically a wish list of far right Republicans. A wish list of policies so extreme, even Trump had to be like, I have nothing to do with this.
Yeah, so even Trump had to disavow them. He's been selected as the border czar. It's a far more ceremonial position than Kristi Noem, he's selected as Homeland Security Secretary, which is
Dakota governor that had to kill her dog.
They killed the dogs, and then they ate them. Then RFK ate them. It's okay, I can eat them.
So the reference there is that Kristi Noem wrote a book about having to shoot her dog.
Yeah. A woman's a psychopath. Obviously a fitting position.
Yeah. Homeland Security Director.
Yeah.
If we are doing any deportations, would actually be in charge of overseeing that.
Oh, yeah. This is the actual position, yeah. Then we have Luigi. Stephen Miller, one of the OGs, Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, a very important position as well, responsible for overseeing all the departments and their policy directions, and then reporting to Trump. So, I mean, Stephen, we haven't talked about him, even though we've done this show for so long now. He's an OG. He's been there since the start. He's responsible for the Muslim ban, he's responsible for most of the nasty shit he's done vis-a-vis immigration. This guy, the great Stephen Miller from California, Deputy Chief of Policy. Congratulations, Stephen. What have you got on Stephen, Luigi?
We have to point out that he has an extremely influential position.
Yes.
Like he's going to be the guy basically writing the policy. So anything
directing everybody on the main policy issues.
Exactly. So anything that gets done passes through this dipshit. So it's sort of a puppet master role. I mean, behind the scenes, but extremely influential.
Yeah, this guy's going to be that for policy. And you've got Susan Wiles. We're going to get to here.
being that for operations. And how would you characterize him? I think distinguishing characteristic, anti-immigration guy, basically. Yeah. He lives for it, people. It's his bread and butter.
We'll see what they actually do on that. I really can't even see Haram doing a mass deportation thing. I think it's going to be a few buses and he's going to parade everything all over the news.
Well, that's
Luigi, going to be the greatest deportation operation in 100% human history.
Could go either ways. He's a salesman, people. He could sell it either way. There is no fucking wall, really. There is a wall, but he definitely didn't finish it and he sold it. So he could sell it. He could sell a single bus, Luigi. He would film it 1 billion times and he'd be like, look at all these migrants I sent out. But yeah, you're right. Or he could go for it. It could go either way. And he's got Stephen Miller. Kristi Noem, she'd be the appointment that would tell me that he's obviously bullshitting about the whole thing.
You have to think about it from Trump's point of view. Trump's whole MO, it has always been like very consistent. Make money for myself and my close associates, basically. We're going to cut taxes. We're going to find every sneaky little way, like shit coins and whatever, to enrich ourselves.
He's a legend.
He's done every like semi-fraud in history, like Trump University, Trump Stakes. It's always about fucking enriching himself, George. The guy is the biggest snakes oil salesman
that has ever lived. I think he sells snake oil like nobody has ever sold it before, Luigi. Honestly, simply the best. I just wanted to know. Just wanted to note quickly. Previously, Trump used to go with generals. Right, he went with generals. Who was it? He had a bunch of them. Mad Dog, you remember the Mad Dog?
Of course. How can one forget?
A student of Aurelius. And a bunch of other bullshit. He didn't like them, evidently, so this time he went for Pete, Little Rubio, and who else?
Elon.
Yeah, in the defense aspect, he went and Waltz. He went for a bunch of neocons. So I guess he went with neocons this time. Just want to know that difference.
Trump surrounds himself with war hawks that advise him to go to war, and then when he doesn't, he can turn around and say, "Look at me, I'm for peace. All these people were telling me to go to war, and I said no."
Anti-war candidate assembles anti-peace cabinet. We'll see how that works out, Luigi. But it is, last time it was generals, an important distinction. This time it's neocons. Last time he had Bolton as well, who is the neocons neocon.
The warhawk.
And obviously not a general. He's never been on a fucking battlefield for real.
The mustache to end humanity.
The mustache terror. Got it. The mustache menace. That's how he's known in the Middle East, folks.
Mustache unchained.
Oh, Habibi, it's the mustache man.
Run, Habibi, run.
We're gonna get cancelled. Right. This year, it's a promise, folks.
Yalla,
Habibi. It's the mustache menace. Definitely. Yeah. He's going with neocons again. Wow, Luigi. For the people who expected, I don't know, we expected him to go with Gandhi this time.
Speaking of Gandhi,
the dynamic duo, right? The most dynamic of dynamic duos. Great Elon Musk, Patriot, Vivek Ramapastrami. We got them. Dynamic duo together. They've been glued together. They're gonna head the Department of Government Efficiency, aka Dodge. The Doge, the great Shiba Inu. By the way, people are pumping shit into that fucking shitcoin Dodge currency. Is this part of the plan, Luigi? Tell us.
What does the great Elon see of the universe?
Elon owns quite a lot of Dogecoin, so I would
Does
say
he?
yeah,
Wow.
he bought it for his
Wow.
son, I think, at some point. It's a
Oh
joke,
my God. As a joke. Obviously, because everything is a joke for the
of
great
course.
Elon. Yeah.
When you've got like, I don't know, like 80 billion or whatever it is,
Oh,
the
yeah.
world is a joke. I mean, you buy elections, you give yourself a fake government department. By the way, newsflash, the Department for Government Efficiency doesn't really exist.
What are you talking about? Thomas Jefferson, people, headed the Department of Government. Like he was the first head of that before he became president
Wow.
as well. It's the Department of Government Efficiency.
Like his father before him.
And his great father before him. This is an age-old institution, a department with roots that have long prospered in Washington, D.C. And they will advise and guide and partner with the Office of Management to drive large-scale strike. He wants to fire people,
Massively.
basically. Luigi, he wants to,
Translation.
yeah,
To
go for
fuck
it.
government completely, like gut government workers, and at the same time
Yes.
deregulate himself. That's the
And
translation.
Luigi at the same time, because we're talking about a guy, and by the way, this is the peak of swampism, people, because this guy possibly gets the most subsidies out of anyone else in the United States, right? His companies. And now he's gonna head the government, we're gonna advise on government spending. Meanwhile, you're getting all these grants and subsidies. It's ridiculous.
What does I mean? It's gonna be spectacularly funny for years. Elon is basically gonna go around in the pastrami and be like, that department doesn't need 70% of its budget. It's gonna be like, yeah, let's dismantle the Department of Education or whatever it is.
Yeah. They hate that one, especially. It makes them
Yeah.
woke. It makes them woke. And how does he achieve this in this department? He basically wants to, basically what they usually do is they fire everyone that was doing that in the government, and then they just contract the private industry to do that for them.
Yeah.
And
Contractors.
contractors, which are basically their buddies, or someone who's kicking up the proverbial money bag, let's call it, up the ladder. So it's like whoever is paying them, or their buddies, literally. As the country descends into savagery, the corruption becomes more transparent, and then it's just my son, my
son. And his son after him.
and his son before him. But
That's
what I'm
me.
saying is, yeah. But yeah, Elon, the pastrami, they're gonna head. He's already recruiting high IQ revolutionaries.
Well, let me translate that. People with zero moral boundaries.
An assortment of dipshits with no moral qualms who will work for no pay. I love
Nice.
that. I love that.
I mean, they're going to be paid in Doge, most likely.
Yes, they will be paid in Shiba Inus.
I mean, the actual dogs, I mean.
Which is quite a payment, to be honest. I doubt
Yeah.
it's happening. They're gonna be they're gonna be paid with shitty self-portraits of the pastrami. That's what they're getting.
The
Because
dynamic duo.
the dynamic duo. The pastrami has the smile, Elon the brains. It's happening, folks. I think they're gonna report in 2 years or something with their findings. They're gonna make multiple reports, and then the final report at the end of 2 years. Expect it with great urgency, folks.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Elon is just draws a Shiba Inu and it's like more Dodge, and that's the recommendation. Lol. Obviously, the visionary of the modern era. Let's move on. Christine John Radcliffe, CIA director, haven't got much on him.
Yeah. A really influential position. I don't know
Yes.
much about him either. But
Loyalist, obviously, but he has
Yeah.
served as director of national intelligence before, so I guess he has some experience. Less
Thankfully.
controversial than others,
Yes.
I would say. Elise, that's just a pro-Israel pick. Mike Waltz, national security advisor, pretty important pick. Probably a general last time, right? As well. Oh, it was
Yes.
Mike Flynn.
No, it was Mike Bolton.
It was Mike Bolton, but before that, it was Mike Flynn, I think, for 20 days before he got caught shilling for Turkey, I think.
But yeah. Then it was Bolton. Yeah, 100%.
The
Now it's
great
the wall.
mustache.
By the way, this guy was an advisor to Dick Cheney. So I mean, can you really split the difference between Bolton and this guy? Doubt it, Luigi. By the way, Bolton is pleased. By the way, sorry, Bolton is pleased at this guy's pick. I've already seen the footage. Yeah, Bolton loves it. Bolton is like, I will support or oppose the nomination depending on what gets him there.
Wow.
Because I don't have good relationship. I mean, Bolton is a smart mustache. An evil one, but a smart one.
The most evil of walruses.
Yeah. So this guy, Neocon again. Susie Wiles, chief of staff. We don't know much about her. For all she's been hyped up a lot as managing his campaign for re-election.
Somebody has to be the brains behind the operation. Yeah.
She's getting chief of staff, operational position, important position. She's getting it. I think we've covered a lot, Luigi. Let's finish this because fuck them, fuck the rest. Donald Jr., the great junior, the most junior of juniors, great kid, the best kid. He's ruling himself out again, thankfully. We're going to miss those fireworks.
Like his father before him. I wish we all had a father like Donald Jr.'s father. Some people say I should be frozen in ice, George, so that I can rule the people of Earth forever. And so people can worship my frozen ice cube forever. It's gonna be better than Harrison Ford in that movie.
Yeah, where were we, Luigi? I think we've covered all of them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, Luigi, that another very important position, Secretary of Interior is going to be Dag, the great Dag Burgum, Dag, whatever, and Secretary of Treasury, Luigi, and Commerce. Those are two really very important ones that we haven't got yet. The Donny hasn't revealed that one yet. But, I mean, as you've said many times, his modus operandi, his raison d'etre is enriching himself. So, I mean, he's going to go for a Wall Street guy who's in favor of deregulation and tax cuts.
I mean, he's going to find the Wall Street guy that can sell a tax plan that is going to blow a massive hole in the deficit in public finances, but they're going to sell it as it's going to be the best thing ever.
Oh, the growth, Luigi. I can already feel it growing.
We will grow our way out, George.
I'm growing. I can feel it growing, people.
You're getting overexcited, good man. Relax yourself.
Yeah, that's what we're going with: innovation and growth. That's what we're going with. We're gonna cut. Yeah, so you can take it to the bank. It's gonna be a Wall Street guy who's gonna support this shit.
With, again, zero moral boundaries, but I mean that is to be expected of anyone he places in that position.
So loyalists, Luigi, dipshits, and lunatics. Right?
Nice.
And neocons.
Mostly neocons.
Mostly neocons. It's the Republican Party, people. We gotta keep the standards.
I mean, when we say neocons, people, we basically mean people that have never seen a war they didn't like, that are ultra hawkish in foreign policy, that don't really care about labor or like people's living conditions. I mean, they only care about their campaigns, their ambitions. I mean,
very important to know that, yeah. And I mean, they're usually very right-wing on economics domestically as well, as all Republicans are. I mean, not a single Republican, I think, votes against right-to-work laws and stuff like that. But they are mostly known and characterized by their extremely prone to violence foreign policy approach, especially to anyone conceived as an adversary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how the globe evolves, George. 4 years and...
Buckle up, folks. Buckle up, as I said last time. It's going to get bumpy. But we're going to endure, because endure we might. We're not going to give the silly pep talk bullshit every episode, Luigi. We're going to change track. Let's end on a different note.
Forward.
Yes, as the great Andrew Yang. That's the guy who was in favor of UBI, which everybody has collectively forgotten.
That's true.
Like it never
that guy
even existed. He was a guy that you used to know, and he used to say, Luigi, forward. We gotta go forward.
I mean, I was gonna go backwards, but I mean,
Yeah.
since you put it that way,
That's you. As I said, you gotta be a salesman. You gotta sell this shit. Sorry, yeah, Luigi, go on.
No, nothing. I was gonna wrap this up for the week. I think
Yes,
we have
enough
covered a lot of
bullshit.
ground.
We've covered everything. We've covered all his picks. I mean, even the ones he hasn't picked, we're gonna tell you what he's gonna be in favor for, even before he's picked him. Tax cuts, we love him. About the only thing we got done last time.
Tax cuts, a few tariffs. Maybe
Yeah.
we deport a couple of buses. That's I think that summarizes it.
I think we're gonna be in for some explosive times like last time. Hopefully, we avoid a once in 100-year pandemic this time. Hopefully.
I'm more concerned about war spreading
Yes.
uncontrollably, to be honest.
Because these are far more unstable political times than the last time he got the reins.
Bingo. Unstable politically and economically. Yeah, let's leave it there.
We'll see what he does. Main crisis points, the Puts, and Israel and Iran. We'll see what happens.
They're gonna give Putin his victory, I think. Like Trump comes into office January 19th. You're gonna hear about the peace process in the week, January 20.
And when you say victory, you mean he's gonna keep the territory he's managed to keep up to now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Which ultimately it's a philosophical
ultimately it's the de facto situation as it stands, depending on how much more weapons people are willing to give. But that's the de facto situation.
The alternative is for that war to drag on for another 5 years, another million people die, and you probably end with the same result. So let's protect human lives. Maybe the Trump approach might be correct on that issue.
We'll see what happens. And as we're not going to go through it again. Watch the last episode. As you've said, the Israel-Iran issue, potential for extreme escalation. I will leave it there. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
And all of the people he has surrounded himself with are ultra.
Ultra. So. When we call them neocons, we mean Iran. Obviously, is part of the package. Yeah, China and Iran. Yeah. So
thank you, George. Thank you to the viewers. See you soon.
See you soon, guys. Bye bye.